Hello everyone, this isn't gonna be one of my normal Meteor videos. This video is gonna be a little different because today I'm gonna be showing you guys some of my Super Sentai drawings. If you don't know what Super Sentai is, it's basically just the original Power Rangers. You see, in Japan there's this company called Toei, I think, and they created Super Sentai and a bunch of other shows like Kamen Rider. And the people at Saban Studios, the people who make Power Rangers, someone over there went to Japan, saw some Super Sentai, and decided to grab some of that to put in their show that we now know as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They adapted the 16th season of Super Sentai, and yeah, that's basically how Power Rangers was made. They just took some of the action scenes from Super Sentai, especially some with the giant robots, and put them in Power Ranger. And whenever we need to see the actors, that was just American footage. So yeah, I'm just gonna be showing you guys some of my Super Sentai drawings because of two reasons. One, I really want some more time to work on Meteor Season 2 Episode 1. And two, I also want to make this video because I really want to share these drawings with you guys. And I also want some video to keep you people entertained until I release Season 2 Episode 1 of Meteors. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys like it, I might show you guys some of my Kamen Rider and Metal Hero drawings and explain what those are in a follow-up video. Only if you guys like this video and show me that you guys really support this. That's all I need to say. Bye.
So, Super Sentai. I'm not gonna go into the details of what Super Sentai is. If you want to know what Super Sentai is, you can Google it or watch a video. There's a lot of them, and I would recommend watching those because they're actually pretty cool. And knowing the history on this will be very much appreciated. But I'm basically just gonna be showing you guys some drawings I made based on Super Sentai. Not like everything. All I'm gonna be showing you guys is the characters, their weapons, and their main machine or mecha, aka the Zord. And at the end, I might show my Kamen Rider, which is basically just Kamen Rider is basically just a superhero who uses a motorcycle and is bug themed. Bug, kind of like Spider-Man, but instead of being able to shoot webs, he's just really strong and has a really impressive durability and strength. But that's in case. I'm basically just gonna be showing you guys my first 7 Super Sentai drawings, which are the group, as I said, the weapons, and the robot. Sorry to interrupt one more time, but I feel like telling you guys what truly inspired me to make these Super Sentai drawings would give some context. The image you're seeing right now is the poster, or like official poster thing to represent the 50th season of Super Sentai, which is called Number 1 Super Sentai Gozuger, I think, which is basically the layout, the plot of the show is you have the Super Sentai team, or main characters, and they fight a bunch of villains and other people, but they're fighting to collect these rings that allow them to turn into previous Super Sentai characters, mainly the Red Rangers. And as they do that, they also fight against each other. It's basically like a big game of capture the flag, or like an Easter egg hunt where you go up against other people trying to grab eggs. But in this case, you're grabbing rings and also fighting against other people. But when I was watching a video on this season of Super Sentai, somebody described it as a Super Sentai Battle Royale, like Fortnite, and that got me thinking, what if I made drawings based on Super Sentai, but they were like in a big fight? Like each team was going up against each other while working together. Whatever team won is the ultimate winner of this competition. I haven't fully made the world's lore complete, All you need to know is that what inspired me was Super Sentai, but it's a battle royale, or Power Rangers Fortnite. And yeah, that's basically what inspired me. Okay, so the first team we have is the Explorer Rangers, or the Explorer Rangers. They're composed of the Green Ranger, Pink Ranger, Purple Ranger, and Red Ranger. They all have a backpack shield thing, which basically acts as a backpack, parachute, and the parachute can also double as a shield. And they all have it, but it's mainly used by the Green Ranger. Then we have the Pink Ranger's giant pickaxe, Purple Ranger's double-sided knife thing, and the Red Ranger's gun, which is can be used by the other members. Then we also have their machines, because the first season of Super Sentai didn't have giant robots. Those were added onto later seasons. I think it was the third season of Super Sentai. And I basically just gave them four vehicles: a plane, a motorcycle, a car, and an air balloon machine robot thing. Uh, they're not size accurate, because the plane is like realistically bigger than the car and the hot air balloon thing. But just so they can all fit in this page, I made them all like different sizes. But you should know that the plain one is way bigger and is about the same size as the other robots in this world. Up next, we have the Jaeger Rangers, based on the Jaegers from Pacific Rim. Their suits, I didn't have a inspiration for. I just thought of something basic. They each have a custom weapon, customized to each one of them. The Orange Ranger has a blaster. The purple one has an electric launcher. They can shoot electricity. The brown one has a giant mallet thing, and the pink one has an energy whip. The red one has like a gun thing, and yeah, that's all they have. They're not interchangeable. They each have their own thing, and they use it whenever they need to by just pressing the big yellow circle on their chest. For their giant robot, I also didn't have any major inspirations. I didn't want to fully inspire it on a Jaeger from Pacific Rim, so I just kind of made a giant human. Kind of looks like what their costumes would look like if they were more detailed. But it's a pretty basic design with the colors of the robot being inspired by the colors of the Rangers. The plane on the side that you can see, that is the carrier, the Z-Wing. That is basically what they use to carry the giant robot. Since he is not a combiner, he is just a giant robot. Because the third season of Super Sentai that had a giant robot didn't have it combine or be able to fly. It just had the Rangers be able to summon it from a giant flying vehicle. The weapons I decided to give this one were a giant sword and a gun they can attach to his hands or just straight up replace his hands in some situations. The third team is the Air Rangers. I based them off the military air navy. I think that's what it's called. And they have the yellow, red, pink, and purple Rangers. The yellow Ranger has a shield and a handgun. The red one has a rifle or just a big gun. The pink one has a giant missile launcher, and the purple one has a Tommy gun. This team's giant robot was based on a plane. It can turn into a plane where all the Rangers can fit in, and then it can transform into a human. The way it looks, I'm not really happy about how it looks in its robot mode. I'm really happy how it looks in its plane mode, but it was pretty hard for me to find a way that would look like, oh yeah, that's definitely a plane that turned into a human. But I couldn't really find a way unless I just put a head on the plane mode and then just said that the wings are just its extended hands. But hey, I think it turned out pretty good. Its weapons are a giant gun and a giant shield. Yeah. Then we have the fourth ranger team, which they're called the base rangers because their giant robot is also their base of operation. So that's why I call them base rangers. They have the yellow ranger with the energy sword, red ranger with a laser gun, pink ranger with a giant mallet, orange ranger with a sphere, double-sided sphere. This team's giant robot is a combiner of a plane and a small like building with wheels and a crane. The smaller the land base turns into the legs, while the airplane turns into the upper part of the body, like the torso, heads, and arms. I also don't like the way this one looks, but I think it's okay. I feel like if you really tried, you probably could turn into a realistic costume. This one only gets a sword and a shield that looks like a building. This one I personally don't like as much as the others, but I still think it's a pretty cool design. Now we have the ground rangers. I based them around, well, the ground and I think a little bit of ground military or just the military, though I mainly lean towards ground based things like ground vehicles, what somebody would think of a rock ranger. Their heads, the top of their heads of their helmets are really flat, and there's like a square in the middle of their body, and I really like their design. It's pretty cool. The red ranger has a sphere. The black ranger has a machine gun hand attachment. The brown ranger has a giant mallet. Orange ranger has another gun, and the gray ranger has two handguns, which can shoot out bullets and tranquilizers. This ranger's team, giant robot, is also a combiner. It's mainly composed of the six-wheeler, two-wheeler, and no-wheeler. The no-wheeler is a giant plane, which doesn't really fit into the ground aesthetic, but I thought it'd be pretty cool. The two-wheeler is a weird-looking car, and the six-wheeler is a bus thing. The two-wheeler should actually be called a four-wheeler because it has two wheels on each side. So yeah, it's the six-wheeler, four-wheeler, and no-wheeler. The six-wheeler becomes the legs. The four-wheeler becomes like the upper body, part of the upper body, like the arms and part of the head. But the main star, the main chest area, is composed of the no-wheeler, which makes up the most part of the chest and part of the head. This team's giant robot weapon is a giant sphere that can shoot fire out of one end and is just really sharp on the other end. These are the water rangers. I based them around, water things. For example, their guns are based around what some water toys you might have seen at Dollar Tree. They're all blue except for one of them is purple. But the first blue one, the one to the far left side, has a water gun, normal little water gun. The one near the middle, next to the purple one, has a the rifle water gun. The purple one has two brass knuckles. I think that's what they're called. And the one to the bottom, the far right side, has a giant water cannon, kind of like I think his name is Megamind. No, I don't know, the video game guy. I'll show a picture on screen. And yeah, they're all blue, no red. I just thought that would be really creative and fun. Up next, we have the robots, which their combiner parts or their individual parts are just boats. I don't really like them individually, but I had to come up with something. I just thought boats would be the best option. The smallest boat becomes the head. The middle-sized boat, like the largest one, becomes the main body. And the two other ones become the arms. This robot's weapon is two giant gloves with launchers or cannons on them.
but it's not really necessary since one of its arms is really big and has missiles. But I just thought it needed a weapon because all the other ones also had a weapon.
And our last team is the Quadro Element Rangers, which are composed of basically their layout is the four elements: fire, air, water, and ground. The hardest one to design was the fire one because I didn't really have a fire team previously. I had a air rangers, water rangers, and ground rangers, but I didn't really have a fire ranger, so I just kind of half wing it and just start off something. The fire ranger is the red one, the air one is the white one, the water one is the blue one, and the brown one is the ground one. Fire ranger has a flamethrower, water ranger has a Tommy gun, the air ranger has a Tommy gun, the water ranger has a water launcher, and the brown one has a drill. They each have different looks, and I really like the fact that the air ranger kind of looks like he's wearing a Viltrumite outfit. I did not intend for that to happen. I was just thinking of designs, and that's just one of the first things that came to mind. A design with a circle and a line through the middle. Sorry, that kind of looks like the Viltrumite outfit. And the others, I kind of just based on previous teams' designs. The ground one is just a reuse of the ground rangers look, and the water one is just a reuse of the water rangers look. This team's ranger giant robot is made up of a giant drill, fire truck, boat, and a plane. I personally really like the drill and plane. I don't really like the fire truck as much. And also the fire truck should be bigger than the drill and boat combined because it makes up both legs and torso and head of the main ranger. The main giant robot. The plane makes up the chest and the drill makes up the right arm while the boat makes the left arm. The boat makes up like a giant sword thing, and the drill. But they also have another weapon. I felt like they needed a weapon because every other team's giant robot had a weapon, except for the first team. They just had vehicles, but those technically have weapons like launchers, missile launchers. The car had a turret on top of its head, so I felt like this one also needed a weapon. Though it's not as cool or creative as the other one, it's just a giant like hand attachment that can replace the other hands, which has a sword, and a missile launcher. We have a little bit of time left, so I'm gonna show you guys my Kamen Rider drawing. This one's fully just a one-to-one recreation of Kamen Rider. That's basically what his suit looks like. Sure, there's a couple of differences, but it's basically a one-to-one. And Kamen Rider's powers in the original show is just that he's strong and he's basically like superhuman and wears a bug theme costume. And the reason he's called Kamen Rider is because Kamen means mask and rider means like rider because he rides a motorcycle. So his name translates to masked rider. And since his powers, he doesn't use like weapons, I just gave him two abilities, which is Kamen Rider Kick, and I gave him a normal gun, even though he doesn't use one. But I still felt like he needed some customized weapons because the other Super Sentai characters had some. So I gave him a giant bug theme Mexican weapon thing. I'll show a picture on screen. And a missile, well, not gun hand. His motorcycle is personally one of my favorite designs I've made. It's not a perfect looking motorcycle, but I like it. It's pretty cool. And this is Kamen Rider Buggies. Thanks for watching this video. I'll get straight to work on a Meteor Season 2 Episode 1. The only reason that video hasn't come out yet and this video has also not come out yet is because, well, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm kind of lazy and I'm also a procrastinator. So I really don't really have the energy because I'm lazy. But I promise you guys, I'll get straight to work on it. And hopefully, by the time this video is out in a couple days, the Meteor Season 2 Episode 1 will also be out. But in the meantime, thanks for watching this video.